Good morning, Rose Red Homestead, and thank you so much for joining us. It is now December, countdown toward the holiday season, and we're excited about that, but winter is also a time when my thoughts are also turned to food preservation. So this one is going to be all about emergency preparedness and food security with garbanzo beans. We've had several requests. What do we do with garbanzo beans? They're very high in protein. They have a lot of really good food value, but what the heck do I do with them? Now, we have done a couple of other videos on garbanzo beans, particularly the liquid that is inside the can when you open up a can of garbanzo beans. That is called aquafaba, and it is great for gluten-free recipes. We have a whole video on that, and I'll reference that video at the end of this video so that you can see it. But today, we are going to focus on our dry garbanzo beans. We just got these beans, 3 weeks ago or so, and we did a video on it called Got Beans, so I'll also reference that one. And they are now stored in these 2-gallon buckets with a oxygen absorber. So I'm going to show you what I do when I open up a bucket that has had an oxygen absorber in it. The big question is, do you put it back in again? And my answer for us is no, I don't. It's done its job. If there was anything in there that needed to be killed, it's dead. And so from now on, nothing is going to be able to get in, so why put in another oxygen absorber? So we're going to be going back and forth between the regular camera and the overhead camera. And as I open this up, the overhead camera is going to take over, and we can see the inside. These garbanzo beans are actually quite small. They're about the smallest ones I've ever worked with. So it will be interesting to see how big they turn out when we actually get the canning done. So there are several ways to preserve garbanzo beans, and these are the same thing as chickpeas. These are dry garbanzo beans. So we have showed you how to store them long term, and they will store for 20 to 30 years, exactly like this. And that is a great, great thing to have in our food storage because of its protein content and its versatility. Now, a couple of other things that we can do with garbanzo beans is this. These are fast beans. Now, these are much larger, as you can see, and these fast beans, we have a video on this, and I'll link that video as well. And these fast beans have been completely cooked and then processed either in our dehydrator or in the freeze dryer. And one of the things that I've learned is you don't want to pressure cook these, or they kind of pop like popcorn and they get ugly in this state. So I just cook them slowly on the stove, and then I re-dry them, either the dehydrator or the freeze dryer. And they make wonderful additions for things like this. This is Tuscan white bean soup. We have a video on this, and I will link that underneath the this video as well, so you can check this out. But there are some fast garbanzo beans in here, along with some fast navy beans. And so garbanzo beans are wonderful, wonderful to have on hand in order to use in a whole variety of recipes. And we'll talk a little bit more about that at the end when we've taken these out of the canner. All right, so the first thing that we want to do, and I'm using my Cuisinart. It's a 4-piece set. It is a pasta steamer set. This is one of my favorite pans, especially when I'm doing beans, getting them ready for canning, because it has this little insert that I can use, which I'm going to use right now. I'm just going to scoop in here and get a couple of cups of these beans. And then I'm going to sort through them. They look really good. I'm going to rinse them, and they're not at all dirty. We got these from Azure Standard. Sometimes beans need to be rinsed to get some of the dirt off or whatever, and then dumped in here. So that was 2 cups. I'm going to continue until I have about 8 cups of beans. All right, I have taken 8 cups of beans from this bucket right now. I am not going to put another oxygen absorber in. So now it's closed up very tight, and it's going to go back outside in our food storage area, and it will be just fine. So I'm going to set this aside. Here are the rinsed garbanzo beans in the bottom of this insert that goes inside a larger pan. We're going to get that going on the butane stove here in just a moment. This, of course, is preparing these beans for pressure canning. So this is the other thing that I'm going to do. Right now, we are preparing them to cook. And so we could go either way. We can go pressure canning, or we could go for the fast beans. Now, often what needs to happen is beans need to soak overnight. Well, I did not do that. The alternative that is also part of the USDA process is if you don't soak them overnight, then the other thing is to bring them to a boil for 10 minutes, turn the heat off, put the lid on, and let them soak for an hour. And that is what we are going to do now. So we'll be back in just a moment when we get the butane stove set up. I have this pot, which is the outside pot for this set. It's about halfway full of water. I'm going to turn on the butane stove.
Here we got it.
And I'm going to put this down inside. The beauty of this strainer set, this insert, is that I can pull it up and drain the beans so easily. It just is a wonderful thing to be able to do. So the water, as you can see in the overhead camera, is about 2 inches above the beans, a little bit more than that, 2 or 3 inches, because I expect them to expand quite a bit. So I'm going to put the lid on now. And the thing that is going to happen next is I'm going to bring this to a boil and boil it for 10 minutes. Then we're going to turn it off and let it sit for an hour. So we will come back when we have done that. So I want to review the process. When you do beans, we're going to be preserving beans this time by pressure canning. You either have to soak them overnight, or you do the shortened cycle, which is what we did today. We rinsed them, we put them in the pot, and we boiled them for 10 minutes, turned off the heat, put the lid on, and then we let them sit and soak for 1 hour. So let's remove the lid. We're going overhead right now. And you can see that they are much larger than they started. In fact, I had to put a little bit more boiling water in because they had soaked all of the water up that I put in there. Now, the great thing about this pot is that I can now lift this, drain it out, and with this cooking water, the soaking water, so either if you soak it overnight or if you do it with this fast step, this water needs to be dumped. So I filled this a little bit more than half full. And this now is going to be the cooking water. So what we've done before is the soaking part, either overnight or with the quick process. And now that those beans are soaked, I'm going to just quickly rinse them. And put them down into the water that we're going to cook them in. Now, I often have people ask, do you really have to discard that first water? And there is some discussion about that on the internet, but the bottom line is one of the reasons that you soak beans is so that some of the compounds inside the beans that are difficult for us to run through our digestive tract, those leach out of the beans and into the water. And I don't want to cook the beans in that same water with that stuff that I don't want to put in my digestive system anyway. And so that's why you put the water down the sink or out on your plant plants or whatever it is you're going to do. Now what we have to do, if we are going to cook them all the way, we just turn the heat on and let them simmer for an hour and a half, and they'll be done. But we're going to be canning. And so what we want to do instead of doing that is we want to just pre-cook them for 30 minutes and 30 minutes only. They still will not be done. They will finish cooking in the canner. So that's what we're going to do right now. 30 minutes. Simmering, and we will be back, and at that point in time we can get them in the jars. I'm going to be using my Nesco canner for 5 pints and my Instant Pot Max for 4 pints. I'm going to do it in the house rather than doing it outside on my stovetop canner. So 9 total pints. If we have more beans left over, I'm just going to run them through the dehydrator and make fast beans. So either way, it's going to be a win-win. So we'll see you back here in 30 minutes. We're going to lift these out and let them drain back into the pot. And then I'm going to just move this off and put it right here. So I'm going to be filling the jars just with the beans. We're going to leave an inch headspace. All right, that is enough to go into the Instant Pot Max. We're going to do 4 in the Max and 5 in the other canner. So let's now fill these with the broth. And I am going to use the bean cooking juice, which is what USDA recommends. Now, I do not put any salt with my beans. I like to add all of the flavors later. Using a plastic knife to release air bubbles. Wiping the rims, and this is just a damp paper towel. It does not need to have vinegar on it because there's no fat involved in this batch. And then putting on lids and rings. Finger tight. All right, let's move over to the Instant Pot Max. We have to come over here to another circuit, otherwise we'll blow because we've got the lights and other things connected to that other one. Now, the Max says to fill the canner halfway up the jars with warm water, which is what we are doing right now. Lid on. Now I have preset this for our elevation, which is 5,000 feet, so that's good to go. I am going to not select pressure cook, but rather I'm coming over here to canning, and I'm going to select that one. And because these are pints, and beans need to cook pints for 75 minutes, I'm going to move that up to 75 minutes, which will be an hour and 15 minutes. We're set and ready to go. I have it on max pressure. It automatically vents. I have a natural cool down, so I have blocked all venting, so it will cool down naturally. And I am just going to start. Internal temperature is 86. We're going to want this to get up to at least 240 for the right amount of time, which is variable depending on what it is that you're working with. So now this is all on its own. It will do just fine with those pints. So let's go finish up over here. Okay, so we have 5 pints inside the Nesco, and I'm just putting the last of the water in here. Nesco instructions say to put 2 quarts in. So 2 quarts is now in. And the lid is locked in place. It is on, or they say exhaust high. Time is going to be up to 75 minutes. And start. Where it will let us know after it's vented. Just drop this down to where it's airtight, and then it goes for the 75 minutes. But right now we want that back up on exhaust. And then it'll do everything for us and let us know with the beeps. And we will be done. When we're done with both canners, we will bring you back. Now I wanted to show you what we have left, which is about 2 quarts. I am going to continue to cook it. I'm going to simmer it until they're completely done. They're not done now. Ah, hot. No, they're not done. Probably another 30 minutes or so, and they will be done. And then I will take them out, rinse them, and then put them in my dehydrator and make 2 quarts of fast beans. So we will see you when the canning is finished. These electric canners do things just a little bit differently than our traditional stovetop canners, and it does concern some people. For instance, this Max does not have a venting cycle like some of the other ones do, but it vents. This is what it sounds like when it vents. It's intermittent. It's letting steam come out, which is expelling the air, and then it doesn't start timing until everything on the inside is up to the correct temperature and the air is all expelled and all that is in there is steam. So we'll bring you back when the other one does the very same thing so that you can see what the venting cycle looks like on both of these. A couple of minutes ago, the Max started counting down. It's now at 1 hour and 13 minutes, so it's been counting down for 2 minutes. Notice that the temperature is 243 degrees Fahrenheit. That means that it is up in the kill zone right now, exactly where we want it to be. And so this one is progressing just fine. So the venting has started. I think maybe you can see it a little bit, but it is not strong enough yet that this machine has recognized it. As soon as the venting is strong enough, oh, there it goes right now. So it just now started to exhaust it, or started the countdown of 10 minutes to exhaust or to vent. And so this will count down for 10 minutes, let it vent and remove all of the air on the inside here, and then it will ding again. At that point in time, then we'll drop this to airtight and the timer will start. Well, this has been an all-afternoon activity. It's now dark outside, but we are just fine. So everything is done, and we can now get these out. I just got the 4 out of the Max, and there was no siphoning there. Looks like no siphoning here either, so that's lovely. And we have 9 pints of garbanzo beans or chickpeas. I also have 3 trays of fast beans in the dehydrator, which will be about 2 quarts. So this was a very successful canning adventure for us. And these are about the same size, these pints are about the same volume as the cans of garbanzo beans. And so the liquid in here will be wonderful for aquafaba, which is an egg substitute, and you can whip it up like meringue and use it in all kinds of non-gluten type recipes. We have fast beans coming that can be used in all kinds of recipes. And these can, of course, the beans can be mashed and made into hummus, which is the bean dip that a lot of people just absolutely love. I love to chill these beans and use them in salads. Just throw extra ones in salads. They give a very nice, different kind of a taste to all kinds of green salads. They're just lovely. So this is a wonderful way to preserve garbanzo beans and to use them in lots and lots of different ways. So thank you so much for joining us, and we will see you at our next video.